Hello, welcome back to another day in the arena, another day in the adventures of young CGB, and today we're going to jam a brand new deck, Blue-Black Artifacts. Let's go play a game. Then we'll get into the deck box and talk about it a bit. I announced in my last video that we were going to end the Young CGB series this week. That still is the plan, but I think what we're going to do for the next last few videos here is just explore some of the different kind of brew up decks that you can make with this starter collection. Again, we're in our third week of free to play, playing about an hour, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less per day. And I think it's kind of interesting to look and see all the different kinds of decks that we can make right now with the collection we have already at this stage in the arena, without spending any money, just for people who are always saying that you need to win to brew and that you need to unlock all these cards to brew. Maybe to brew a specific deck, if that's what you're talking about, like a very specific set. But when I look around in my collection, I see a lot of potential for cards and decks to play and things to do with them. So this is a blue-black artifact deck designed to take advantage of improvise and a bunch of cards that work with artifact matters type situations. Right off the bat, we have a treasure map to play on turn 2, which is a very fun card that can make more artifacts. Our opponent on the Gobos. Ooh, the goblins are here. A Spire of Industry, of course, makes mana of any color. Makes our mana very useful. We could throw down this Tezzeret's Touch. It would make our treasure map into a 5/5. We could also play a Cultivator's Caravan and scry with our treasure map. Then we would untap with 5 total mana. But what would we do then? Tezzeret the Schemer could kill something, or it could just make more artifacts. I feel like what I want to do is just play this Herald of Anguish as quickly as possible. It can really take over a game. It has a lot of powerful abilities. So in order to do that, I'm going to play the Caravan, and I'm going to scry with the treasure map. I'm going to wait till my opponent's turn to use the treasure map. I want to see what they do. What they play could influence my scry. To be specific about that, if they play a Goblin Chain Whirler, then we probably want to put any 1 toughness creatures on the bottom, things like that. They're not very useful. Captain Lannery, however, well, not sure what's going to happen here. See if they sacrifice that treasure or not. How aggressive are they? If they were sacrificing it, it's like an all-in burn type plan, and I need life gain really badly. But since they don't, I think I can take a more reasonable look at this. The Antiquities War. I think you're too slow when I'm behind on board like this. So I think I have to put you on the bottom. Break my heart. Alright, I'm going to play my untapped land, so I can play the Herald of Anguish. Is that right? No, I can't actually play it. You see, it's saying that I can tap this for mana and tap it for improvise, but you can't do both. So it's lying. It's a liar. Let's go ahead, though, and play Tezzeret the Schemer. Our opponent might just attack and kill Tezzeret the Schemer. Actually, so we could make an Ethereum cell.
Perfection in both body and mind.
But we don't need to make an Ethereum cell to play the Herald next turn. We can flip the treasure map and tap the treasures for improvise. That should be enough to play Herald. Let me do some quick math. So if we use 1 mana to flip the treasure map, it creates 3 artifacts, and we have a Caravan, and 1, 2, 3. That's 7 for the Herald. So we can play that next turn regardless. So because of that, I'm going to use the -2 instead of the +1 to kill the Lannery Storm and slow down the beating we're taking. Our opponent will also have to find 1 more damage to get 3 power of attackers to kill Tezzeret. Now they are red. That seems very realistic. So I won't be surprised if Tezzeret dies. But in this case, we used it to slow our opponent down a little and set up our Herald of Anguish. Sometimes you've got to use your planeswalkers that way. You can't protect them. They aren't your children. You can't shelter them from the world. Yep, there is the creature that can come down and kill our Tezzeret. We're leaving our mana open just because our opponent might think we have Fatal Push and play around it by throwing more creatures at Tezzeret than they have to. It makes sense to do things after the opponent's committed their plays. You might gain some little incremental percentage points if the opponent say, attacks with their goblins at Tezzeret as well, concerned that the Crasher could die somehow, although that doesn't make a lot of sense. But you never know. People do strange things. Whereas if you tap out completely, it's almost like you give your opponent permission to do things optimally. Hope that explains that well. I don't know if it does. Takes a lot of practice.
Bad idea.
Feisty are we, the schemer. The schemer. Very feisty. And now what? Opponent's thinking. This treasure left over from Lannery might let them play more goblins, or more little creatures at least. But they're going to pass turn, perhaps worried about a sweeper effect, or perhaps sitting on some kind of a lightning bolt. Scrapheap Scrounger on top. It's an interesting one, but it can't block, so I'm going to bottom it. Yep. All right. I think we stick with Anguish play, but this with a Tezzeret's Touch is a really big game. Let's make sure this flips. Our opponent could have an Abrade. If they killed it in response, that would be bad. This has lifelink. I'm going to keep it. Against red, I think that's where you want to live our lives. And now let's bring out the Herald. So it says to pay black, and 5. We're going to tap for Improvise. We're going to tap for Improvise. We're going to tap for Improvise. And we're going to tap for Improvise. We don't need to sacrifice them to play this creature. So bring out the Demon. And we'll put another land down. At the beginning of our end step, the opponent has to discard a card. So they got to pick one of those lovely cards in their hand and discard it. Now, our opponent can use On-Crop Crasher next turn, prevent the demon from blocking, hit us for 5, possibly more if they have another haste threat. But the next turn, we start using the real power, which is that ability. 1 in a black, sacrifice an artifact, of which we have 4 hanging around. Target creature gets -2/-2. I mean, it can just eat up our opponent's board if the Herald is allowed to live. Just eat their board. And we'll give our opponent some time here this turn to figure out how to proceed. It is tough against a Herald of Anguish, a large creature that's hard to kill with so many abilities. If our opponent can kill it... Oh, they have a Banefire. So, yeah. That's a tough call, too, because part of you thinks, well, I could just attack and win with my Banefire for 6, but they had to blow it on the Herald. Alright, so this turn we will play our Contraband Kingpin. I will tap this for colors, black, and we'll play our Aethersphere Harvester. We'll scry, we do not need this. And I think I'll just draw my card. I could play the Tezzeret's Touch this turn, but I think I can wait. I want to see if my opponent plays another Abrade. Oh, not another Abrade, but an Abrade. He hit a land, so we'll play that pass turn. Although I guess if they did Abrade, if this had Tezzeret's Touch on it, it would come back to my hand. I often forget that side of the touch. It says, when enchanted artifact is put into a graveyard, return it to the owner's hand. That would be almost a good way to protect my Harvester. So I should have played that. I think I should have played that. In hindsight. It would only cost me 1 treasure. And now we're in this awkward position where does our opponent attack? And if they do, how do we block? Okay. And exerting to target the Kingpin. Before defenses are up, let's crew with the Kingpin. And I think what I'm going to do here is crew and block with the Caravan. I think the Caravan's going to jump in front. If the opponent has a shock or something to kill it, so be it. Opponent says nice. Perhaps they didn't see that play. And we go down to 7. They have 2 cards left. One of them is a Dragon Queen. Holy crap. Wow. Didn't see that one coming, did I? Wow. It is my birthday. It really is my birthday as I'm recording this. But it is my birthday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do I go the whole distance though? I don't even need to. My opponent's definitely going to call this nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. If I do 1, 2, 3, and 4, if I pay that for mana. Yeah. So I can battle at the bridge, kill the queen, and Tezzeret's Touch the Aether Sphere Harvester. So tap for improvise, tap for improvise, tap for improvise. Should be it. Boom. And lifelink. Ugh, gross. Oh, red decks. Red decks just, oh, it's brutal. So yeah, so I built this fun, funky artifact deck thinking, wouldn't it be nice to totally hose some red decks? It is true. It has a bunch of these life gain kind of and removally and tough to deal with cards in it, but I never foresaw I would get to battle at the bridge a Dragon Queen. Are you kidding? This card is so crazy. And like we were seriously looking at some trouble. Like I don't know what I was going to do about that if we didn't draw like the removal spell in the deck. All right, let's get some more lifelink. We could also send in the 5/5. At this point, that makes sense to me. Crane's good, I think. I think keeping a Crane's legit. And we'll go for some colorless here and play out the schematic. It is unfortunate that we're scrying 2 when we want to keep it on top, but then again, we have a good draw next turn, so nothing wrong with that. We'll crew up. And what we're going to do is the crew train. We crew into a crew. Our opponent will probably just block with a 1/1, but that eats up some resources. And they have a gutter snipe with no hand. It's over. It's what it is. It's over. Back to 23, 2 Aether Sphere Harvesters. All right, let's drop the cranium. And 3 Aether Sphere Harvesters. Keep them coming, guys. Why stop? Let's cry to the bottom. Opponent says good game. Perhaps they'll give up here. I'll send back the GGs as well and try to be nice. Play the other Kingpin instead of attacking with the 5/5. It's fine. We'll just do all the work in the air. Triggers and triggers. Remember your triggers. And I'm kind of going as fast as I can when I know that the game is a bit wrapped up, that the opponent doesn't really have a hope. I don't like to drag out punishment. I don't like it when opponents drag out punishment on me. It's Fire Elemental. Vanilla. Vanilla is the magic term for no special abilities. It's just a body with blank text in the middle, much like that Fire Elemental was right there. You don't want to play vanilla cards. Maybe in draft, but in constructed, just try not to do it. Avoid them. All right, decks. Artifacts. This thing is just a collage of artifact-related cards I have. Lots of 2s and 1s. The only 4 of we have here are Scrappy Scroungers, because, you know, come back, and Aether Sphere Harvester, which gains some life, pressure in the air, and hold off red decks. It's just a really key card. So everything else, I mean, we've got the maps, the cranes, the kingpins, they all just do stuff with artifacts. And the more artifacts you have, the better. The prisms, the schematics, the treasure maps. Then we have Sai, Master Thopterist, and he can sack artifacts, draw cards, make more artifacts. Tezzeret's Touch goes great with an Aether Sphere Harvester. Can also just turn that turn 2 Prophetic Prism or Servo Schematic into a beast. Caravan you saw. Padim, give them hexproof, draw extra cards if you have the most expensive one. An Antiquities War, just one. We don't need it to win, but it's a fun way to win when you can. 1 Tezzeret the Schemer, 1 Tezzeret Artifice Master, 1 Sky Sovereign, the console flagship, a Saheeli's Artistry, because this is really fun. Hopefully we get to play it. Create a token of an artifact and create a token of a creature, except it's an artifact. So if you have out a creature and an artifact, whether, you know, in some combination like that, you make 2 copies for 6 mana. So yeah, we do have a lot of legendary stuff which you have to watch out for, but I still think it's a really fun card to play. We have Zahid, the Djinn of the Lamp. He's only 4 mana if you have an artifact in play and you got him on turn 4. Why not? Noxious Gearhulk. Kill him. This is a very fun thing to copy with the Artistry, by the way. Herald of Anguish is another. If you can copy these 2, I think you broke the game. Metalwork Colossus hanging out is another one. And then our one of the Savior showed up just right time. Battle at the freaking bridge. You see, we're not high on removal. We're a very proactive game plan ourselves. Trying to use the lifelink from Harvester is very important for stabilizing, but for the most part, we're not killing anything at all. We're very proactive, but then this Battle of the Bridge happens, or this Gearhulk happens, or this Skyship happens, or this Tezzeret happens, and that's really the only way we kill stuff. We got Inventor's Fair and Spire of Industry. This deck did have Vraska's Contempts, those Contempts I unlocked in it. But the truth is, if you're playing cards like that, you're playing less artifacts. Artifacts are the reason to play the deck. The synergies are important. Let's do it. And this deck, with all the Kaladesh and Aether Revolt artifact-related cards that we are given, is so easy to build. So easy to build. Requires almost 0 dimes, as that's what I put into this free-to-play account. 0 dimes! Some of you got the Enzo reference last time. Shout out to you. Alrighty then. Yeah, this will get an artifact. This will make the artifact awesome. These will come out later in the game. It's gonna be fine. Nothing could go wrong. It's my birthday. I can do anything and get lucky, right? That's how it works. Is that how birthdays work? When I was a kid, I could do whatever I wanted. I'm not no kid no more. You know what I wanted for my birthday as a kid? Always? Magic. Just magic. And after I got into Magic and got into my teens, well, we could go for the treasure map beatdowns. Hold on, let me think about this. I'll tell the story. I do think I want to go for treasure map beatdowns against green. I think that's the way to be. I don't think a Glintnest Crane is going to matter much. I think we put him on the back foot. That will buy us more time to get our mana and eventually Noxious him if we need to. But anyway, so after I discovered Magic and I got into my teenage years, well, this is 10 times better with the Tezzeret's Touch. So I'm going to go for it. All I did on my birthday, I didn't want like any presents other than Magic cards. I want Magic cards and only Magic cards. And what I did is have my friends from my Boy Scout troop come to my house and stay overnight. And we'd stay up till like 3, 4 in the morning playing Magic, of course, but also playing, what was the game? We were very bad at role-playing games, but it was the Call of we said Cthulhu, it might be Cthulhu. I've heard it said different ways. But so we would just stay up well into the middle of the night playing that role-playing game, but not even playing it right. We didn't know how to organize campaigns. We didn't know how to do anything. We just were silly. We were incredibly silly about it. We just said what our characters were doing, and we were always trying to find Cthulhu. I'm going to say it because I'm reverting back to my childhood state. We were just always trying to find the great demon, Cthulhu, at all times, all over the world, flying planes. My friend Mikey would intentionally crash Like, he intentionally crashed a giant, like, a Harrier plane into a giant ooze monster sent by the demon. I don't know how to explain any of this. Like, none of it sounds right 20 years later, but let's just say we had fun. He crashed a plane into it, only made it stronger. It was embarrassing for everybody involved. I guess I'm get scrappy, Scrounger. So we're in a lot of trouble, and I think I just have to try to race. If I find another Harvester, I can gain more life. I'm chumping Gigantosaurus. If we hit land drops, we could have put a Gearhulk in front of it. But yeah, there's a lot of ways to lose the game from here, unfortunately. But I'm just trying to race. We're just going to try to chump block and attack twice. Oh my god. It's not fair. It's not fair. Yeah, if we had hit our land drops, maybe there'd be a chance of getting to this Gearhulk or this Artistry for the funsies. Ooh, there's even a flying blocker. I leave. I'm done. I'm done. Green, too strong. But yeah, staying up well into the night. There was one, maybe it was when I turned 16. My parents knew people who owned a resort, these little cottages out in the middle of the woods. Nothing fancy, but just these cute little log cabins out in the woods. And they got me one of these cabins because I think they were sick of not being able to sleep that night because our house wasn't very big. So my mother wouldn't get sleep. My mother was ridiculous. She would do things like come out at 4 a.m. and she would talk through a vent in the floor, and she would say, "This is God talking. Go to bed or I will destroy you." And she was pretty funny in that way. But I think she got sick of it, so she rented me one of these cabins or I don't know if she paid any money, but we had one of these cabins. And we went and we sat in this cabin. It had a pool. It had a pool table, but I think all we did with that was play Magic. And we played Magic all night long. Like, we had probably like 6 tournaments, or all kinds of round robins, all kinds of decks, all kinds of things. And when the sun actually came up, my friends went crazy and ran outside and just started like howling at the sun, which is like not how you do it. I don't think. I think you howl at the moon. But they were just out there for whatever reason. They needed to go out and yell at the sun, let the world know that they existed. And that's something I will probably always remember my entire life because it was weird and crazy, and it was us, and that's childhood for you. So there's some good birthday memories that also involve and never would have happened without the game Magic the Gathering. I think I'll hold this battle at the bridge for like big moment instead of playing it for small ball, and we'll go for Glint Nest Crane here. We have Tezzeret's Touch, but if I play the Servo Schematic into the Touch, I don't know, it doesn't feel good against green-black. I want to do the Harvester. I want to get the Harvester going. And I want to get Sai going, too. I want to play my artifacts after I play Sai. But it's really hard being on the draw against Llanowar Elves or against any mana creature with this deck. I think I can't stress that enough, I don't think. It's very hard because you just get too far behind in the mana race. And this deck, like I said, not a lot of removal, very proactive. Well, it's hard to be proactive when you're behind on mana. So anytime your opponent's going to play like, oh, they didn't even activate their Ballista. Our opponent's giving us a chance. They're being kind. Okay, they're not that kind. Oh, God. All right. You did it. So I think I block this Ballista because if I do, the opponent can't remove the counters to kill the side this turn. They could do it on our upkeep, but they might just miss that. But like if right now they remove 4 counters, their Ballista dies. What they should do, learning moment, is put a stop on the upkeep and do it then, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. So, smart opponent. They're legit, and they've got a really good start. I don't think we can win, so I'm just going to leave. I'm not going to waste your time. Your time, good viewers, or mine, because Mrs. CGB insists that for my birthday we go to the movies and go do fun stuff. So I have to get out of here, so I have to do a shorter than usual video. So let's try to do one more, and let's try to get on the play and hopefully not get smashed by Llanowar elves and various green nonsense. Although getting smashed by Teferi won't feel nice either. At least our deck's really proactive and can probably give Teferi some headaches. Nope, not on the draw. I can't do it. Or not on the play, I mean. Go, Scorpion. Run away! Run away! Now you can torment them into running faster. Isn't technology great? Play Scorpion minigames. Don't know why that happened. Oh, because I touched my library. Oopsie. See, it's right. Look, right here. Yeah, I didn't quite touch it, but it expanded nonetheless. It's like right on the edge there, like right there. Anyway, always learning something new about the game. It's like, where are the mini games? Where are they? I'm bored. Well, 3 games in a row. Man accelerating creatures. It's not good for us. I need to draw my lands, but I could just spam Scrappy Scroungers. I don't think that's likely to work. But what we've been trying hasn't been working, so I'm going to try this approach. But our opponent's very likely to just play something bigger that we can't attack through. Or not. What is happening? Okay. Oh, they missed a land drop. That's something. Well, we didn't draw land, so I gotta try to draw it off this prism now. See if we get mana screwed on the play, stuck at 2 lands. I do need a tracker for how many times this happens because of the amount of times it happens, but hey, we drew one. More evidence that it's my birthday. Yeah, that's not evidence that it's my birthday. That's evidence that I am about to die. It's a boat! Gonna need a lot of work out of this harvester. A lot of work out of this harvester. Yep, that's nice. Oh, all face. Face is the place. Okay. I wonder what the Fanatical Firebrand is doing in the deck. I don't know. It's a pretty weird one for me. Can't block, remember. And this is a 1/4. Maybe I can convince my opponent to shoot it with the Unsealing instead of shooting my face. Maybe. So Sarkhan's Unsealing. Pretty nutty. Has seen some high-level play, but not like Pro Tour level. I'd call it FNM level. Alright, opponent is going to cast some spells to pick on the Contraband Kingpin. That's fine, at least it diverts their attention a little bit as they beat us into the ground. So we're taking 9. Pretty rough. Pretty rough. So then we go back up to 7, probably. Okay, Spire is here. So we could go up to 7 and play like Sky Ship, but that can't block. I think we have to deploy the Crane. Gonna need to block something. Caravan. Caravan doesn't do it. We could block with the Harvester, but then we're not clocking our opponent, and we can't win if we don't race. Doing 6 this turn does give us like a turn where if we can get a block and our opponent doesn't have a big creature, we can win, but we lose to so many things. We could also play the Caravan and have a 5/5 available to block and not attack at all. That's not bad. But then we're stuck at 4, is the problem. So if our opponent just has another big creature, we lose. Yeah, I think I'll just save the 5/5 with the Scrounger, crew with the Crane, and get in there for the life. And then have a 5/5 to block and hope that will get me through. We lose to a big creature either way because it can go face. Okay, he's going in for it. He has a lightning strike. We can't beat pretty much anything, so we're just hoping he has duds in the hand. Duds in the hand. You wouldn't, not on my birthday, right? You wouldn't do this to me on my birthday. You wouldn't slow roll me, would you? Yeah, he would. He would. He would slow roll me. Alright, I don't know why we've hit this sudden streak of like green mana dorks just wrecking me, but oh well. It is still a fun deck to play. We're almost there. One more. One more match. One more match. Let's see. How much work do I have to do before I can leave the house? I'm really up against the clock on this one. I know that doesn't matter to any of you watching this from wherever you are, what time it is. Ooh, I do have a lot of work to do. This is gonna get messy. This is gonna get messy. I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna be late to the Meg. I'm gonna be late to my own birthday. It's okay. It's okay. I'll figure it out. This is an RPG player. Well, this is a TCG. Maybe you heard me. Maybe you heard me talking it up about Call of Cthulhu. Call of Cthulhu. Call of Cthulhu. See? I know exactly how to pronounce things at all times. Alright. Tap land. Jeez, oh Pete's. Hard to get on the front foot these days. Nobody wants to allow it. Let's start the party this way. Little lifelink. And over here, I'm getting a head start on my work while I record videos. See how I can do it all? It's multitasking. Our opponent's just thinking anyway. Don't worry about it. And I can still tell amusing stories. Can I? Is this an amusing story? Some would say this isn't even a story. 2 energy, gutter snipe. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. What is this shenanigans? Bring it out. Yeah, more of those. They have lifelink. More lifelink, please. So let's go. Let's see if we can... Let's see how we can do against a deck that isn't green. That isn't playing big monsters I just can't compete with. I am curious to see where this deck goes. I mean, obviously Siphoner drawing cards is fun. Gutter Snipe burning you with spells. So what kind of spells do we have? Interesting. Well, I'm not going to risk my Harvester. I can risk my Kingpin. My opponent shoots it. Whatever. I'll gain a life. I'll play another. It's all good. In this hood. Yep. Very, very talented opponent. Casting Hungry Flames. Yep. We could have also blocked with Harvester, but the Harvester is what I don't want to lose. So let's go for a Glintnest Crane. Let's grab the Sky Sovereign. Boss. Crew here. Combat. Attack. I have no interest in blocking with Harvester, so I may as well be attacking and gaining that life. And we'll put out another Kingpin. End turn. Now that does mean we can't play Sky Sovereign next turn, which would be a reason to play the tap land instead and possibly a Renegade map. But I don't think I have to be in a hurry for it. We'll see. I could be wrong, but I think with this life gain, I can buy enough time to play Skyship and have all my pieces in play. Oh, maybe not. Our opponent will probably freeboot that Skyship now. Didn't see that one coming. It happens, though. I still think it's okay. I don't mind my spot. That Glint Sleeve gets to keep coming in. My opponent can draw some extra cards, but I think mine will be of higher quality. We do have some big, strong critters and some good synergies coming up, hiding out in deck. I believe in us. I mean, this is an easy take, right? Oh. What? Misclick? I guess we'll see. Opponent does not stop attacking. I mean, if they have a shock, I'm willing to take it. In the meantime, it just gains me a life. Alrighty. Bluffer. Oops. Hi. Let's drop a bomb on something. I guess the Siphoner is a good target before our opponent gets another card out of it. I'm still just like, really? You let me keep that. Don't need you. Got enough vehicles in my life. One could say too many. Lifelink. And get him. We are in a position where the Harvester needs to be able to crew the Skyship. But I have confidence in that. If my opponent could remove the Harvester, I think they would have. But maybe they're just holding in a Braid. But if they had that, they'd kill the Harvester. I thought the freebooter would definitely take the Sky Sovereign. Maybe they didn't realize our mana position. It's always a possibility. Okay, the opponent just keeps attacking. So now I think I don't block with the Kingpin. Oh, What's up? Now my opponent doesn't attack. What's up? Come on, man. Choices are hard. Look at him. Just what's this? What's this do? What's that do? What's that do? What if I do this to your cards? I like that. Oh, trying to figure out what to do with an Abrade. Of course. I just need to draw one power, and I can crew this up again and smash face. Did it. I'm amazing. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I hear 6 toughness is a lot for a black-red Bernie type thing to deal with. Alright, get busy. We want this lifelink point, so we're going to attack right now. And I'm going to kill this Gutter Snipe. Just take away any chance to win. I definitely could have killed the freebooter. Use the Prophetic Prism to draw. But I kind of want the Scry draw after I draw this card to help me with my next draw. And because of that, I'm also going to keep the Renegade map in my hand. I'm going to use it to scry on a future turn with the Kingpin when I'm not sure what the top of my deck holds. Right now I know the top of my deck is gorgeous. Good game. Opponent's going to scoop him up without even seeing Zahid. And that will conclude my little run with this Blue-Black Artifacts deck. I hope you found it entertaining. Just a fun little thing to brew up. Not necessarily for the competitive events, but for the joy of playing the Magic. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.